restoring men and history. And today's a good one on commitment and consideration. They go together many times. So, as a gentleman or a man, you want your word to mean something. So, we're talking about the little things when you say you're going to show up to a meeting or someone's house or a party, or you've said you're going. So, when you say you're going to do something, when you say yes, you should follow through and go. Why? Because it's your word on the line. Secondly, it's consideration of the other person, right? You told them you're going. They may have bought food, they may have bought drinks, they may have based it on you, they may be waiting for you to arrive. Secondly, if you're running late, send a text or make a phone call that you're running late. If you have to cancel, and I mean for a good excuse, not just nonchalant or nothing, then call or text that you can't make it because the group may be waiting for you to arrive, or the person may be waiting for you to arrive to start, right? So you want to have consideration for that person who's invited you. So you want to do what you say. So if you're meeting somebody at 7 p.m., that person has planned to be there on Wednesday at 7 p.m. And it may be the only person arriving. It may be a girl or a guy, whomever it is. And you told them you're going to meet them at this restaurant at 7 p.m. You want to be there because you told them you're going to be there. Do what you say. Your word is your bond, right? You've heard that. Your word is your bond. So you want that for yourself so that people know they can count on you and trust you. And also, if you're running late, you can tell them, for example, I meet this one fantastic friend, John, for a cigar, many times just he and I, right? So here's the thing. If I'm running late, I text him. And I don't believe I've ever had to cancel a meeting, and we meet every month, right? And I don't believe I've ever had to cancel. You shouldn't have too many emergencies and crises coming up. If you're having too many emergencies and crises coming up, you should look at your life and see what is going on. All right. So here's the thing. Your word is your bond. If you say you're going to make a meeting or a group meeting or go to somebody's house or a party, go. If you, for some real reason, you can't make it, text or call them because that's consideration. And today we're talking about commitment. Your word is your bond, and consideration. Also, the more times you do that, like with John or Brian, Brian's the same way. He's a class act and a gentleman, and he always does what he says. John always does what he says. If they say they're going to arrive, by the way, if they can't make one of the group meetings or they can't make it to meet me personally, they would text or call, but they don't. They've made every one-to-one meeting, right? And if they're late for the group, they're going to text or they can't make it way ahead of time, right? Because somebody's already planned. So if you were supposed to meet somebody at 7 p.m. on Wednesday, that person may have an hour to get there and get ready. So you shouldn't be texting them or calling them to say you're late after 6 o'clock if you're supposed to be there at 7. Really, if you have to change it, you should tell them a day ahead, right? But at least that day, if something comes up emergency-wise. So it should be an emergency you're canceling. And if you really don't want to go to a group or go to a meeting or go to somebody else, just say no. Or if you're super slammed that month and you think that you're slammed, you can say, if you're always making it anyway, if you're usually making it, right? You're usually making it. You can say, oh, this month's different. I'll do my best, but I may not be able to make it, right? That's different because you're usually making it, but that shouldn't be your answer every time. Shouldn't always be slammed, right? So if you say you're going to do something, do it. Have consideration for the other person. Your word is your bond. And by the way, the more times you do that with an individual, it will increase your trust and friendship, right? Because I know I can count on John and Brian. If John or Brian say they're going to do something, they're going to do it. You can count on them. So if you can count on them showing up at meetings, that means you can go into business with them. You can plan trips with them. You can do anything, right? If they're, by the way, how you do the small things is usually how you do the large things. Maybe not always, but a lot of times. Remember that. How you do the small things can be how you do the large things. If you can't make small meetings with people and friends, and you can't go to the group meetings, remember somebody's planning on you being there. They may have put work into you being there. They may be waiting for you to get there. So it's proper consideration. And on RSVP, if somebody asks you to RSVP, make sure you respond because that's what they're wanting. So just commitment, consideration, etiquette, right? You can build trust by showing up. And this is the thing, it will set you apart because so many don't now, and so many don't know how to respond. We'll be running a group and consistently someone just will not show up and then won't have texted or called me that they're not even coming. Also, if you're in a group or something, always respond back. But mainly, if you can't make it, respond back. And this, I think, is a problem today. It will help build trust with your friends, but you don't do it for yourself. You're doing it for the consideration of the other person. Be considerate. If you make a commitment to be somewhere, you want your word to mean something, and then that will increase your trust in the friendship. Because if you can't make the meetings, how can somebody trust you with anything larger? And so many people don't show up today. This is a problem without even texting or calling. Commitment, consideration. Thank you.